Apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor Lawrence Oyor.
On the 16th of January 2025, a song was released. It wasn't written, not composed, just released, and it immediately became the biggest song in Nigeria. It was literally the anthem of the new year.
Lift your voice and shout favor.
It wasn't the first time, but it was definitely not going to be the last. Over the course of the year 2025, the three biggest gospel songs in the country will have one common factor: Lawrence Oyor. Who exactly is this man, and how did he get to have so much power and influence in this generation? To answer that question, we have to go back to the early days. Lawrence Oyor and his twin Godswill Oyor were the first children of Reverend Gomba and Reverend Mrs. Patience Oyor. They were born on the 16th of June 1991 in the city of Ibadan, in western Nigeria. Lawrence grew up from humble beginnings. I mean, really humble beginnings.
I remember him telling us how we didn't even have windows. So
in the house?
Yes, we didn't have windows in the house. They used to use a wrapper as windows. When we were born, we didn't even have a baby,
Cot,
no.
Yeah.
We didn't even have a bed, so they put us on the mat with wrapper. They slept on the floor.
So even your parents slept on the floor with you guys?
Yes, when we were born.
Right.
Yes. Well, somebody came to visit, and then she already had her children grown. She still had a baby cot in her house from when her children were, babies.
Yeah.
So she was like, "What are they doing? Why are they on the floor?" So she went quickly and got it for us. That's how we had
a bed.
So,
notwithstanding though, Lawrence Oyor's childhood wasn't a regular one. He was born into an uncommon lineage.
My great-grandmother didn't taste drug. No injection touched her till she was 110 years old. It was a sin to take drug. Her husband didn't see the sun for 1 full year. He wanted to be like Charles Finney. So he was praying for 1 full year.
This same grace flowed even in his own father, who was such a heavily anointed man of God.
Daddy was such a powerful man of God, especially in the area of healing and deliverance. He was like a consultant in that area.
Wow.
Yes. The way you have consultants in other fields.
Yeah.
So difficult cases, that was Daddy.
He would deal with them.
I'm telling you, I grew up seeing mad people. Even at home, you will bring a mad person to the house. They will stay in the guest room, have their bath, shower, eat, and he will pray for them until they're fine, and then they leave. He was
like they would be delivered from madness.
I'm telling you, full-blown madness.
Huh?
Daddy loved people, including mad people.
Hey.
We had tens and hundreds healed. They used to call him pastor of mad people.
Lawrence saw again and again signs and wonders wrought by God in the lives of multiple people through his father, and this left a deep longing in his heart to also walk in the power of God. Lawrence and his brother Godswill were also gifted in the area of music and were part of the choir in church and at school as well. Little did they know how far God was going to take them with this gift. Lawrence Oyor's father usually took him around for ministrations, and time again, strange miracles were wrought by God through the hands of their father. Again and again, the desire to be used by God grew stronger and stronger in his heart. And then one day, something happened. On a fateful day at the assembly ground in Shalom Christian College, little Benga stood up and stretched out his hand in front of the whole school and said, "Anyone who is sick, come and touch my hand now, and you will be healed." Now, Benga wasn't just any student. He was a very close friend of Lawrence Oyor, a student who had had a deep walk with God from a very tender age. But on this day, Lawrence wasn't sure of what to expect. But then, it happened. The power of God came. Lawrence watched in surprise as the power of God moved through his friend Benga, and every single person that touched him got healed instantly. And that was it. That day changed something in him. Lawrence began giving himself to prayer and fasting, seeking God desperately for tangible manifestations of his power. In the year 2009, Lawrence Oyor gained admission into the University of Ibadan to study law, and it wasn't long before he was known all over the campus as a pastor. He organized prayer stretches amongst fellow students and got many souls saved and burning for Jesus. It was clear that the hand of God was upon him, but he wasn't really sure of exactly what his call was. While in the university, he began organizing outreaches to secondary schools, and this time he began to see demonstrations of the power of God in some measure. But it wasn't enough for Lawrence. He wanted more. In the year 2013, Lawrence was in his place of prayer as usual, and the Lord spoke.
The first phase was 2013 when he said, teach my church to pray.
With that word, the first layer of his ministry opened up. Lawrence set out to do just that. He and his friends began to undergo rigorous prayer disciplines, spending long hours on end in the place of prayer. In another encounter also, he will hear himself prophesy to himself.
I was in 3 days retreat asking about my destiny, who am I? And then I heard myself say, you are a catalyst. And I caught myself like, oh my God, what was that?
This eventually began to show in the way the fire of God upon his life was contagious. There will be powerful testimonies of people catching strange hunger for God and having deep encounters with the Holy Spirit just because Lawrence was present. His influence continued to grow on campus, but then there was another aspect of his calling that God was yet to unlock. And God will do that through his unique servant, Bishop Francis Wale-Oke.
Bishop Francis Wale-Oke came to minister in our church in one of our conventions, and he prophesied 2013 October, and he finished ministering, and I was on the keyboard like he is now, and he picked up his handkerchief and he was calling for seeds. So the meeting was over. This was now, let's raise offering, people come and give support this meeting. And as I was playing, it stopped, and the keyboardist who was playing before felt like the meeting is now over, so he got up to go and sit down. I just said, let me just go and play on the keyboard. And he just suddenly stopped and looked at me, began to walk towards me, and then put the face towel on my head and says, the mantle of David is coming upon you now. The Lord will give you songs in the night, songs that will set the captives free, songs that will change the world.
This dimension of God which had been prophesied would not come to pass immediately, because something unexpected happened. It was his final year in the University of Ibadan. Lawrence was facing some serious academic challenges. He had failed some of his exams and he was discouraged. The discouragement led to bitterness and eventually resentment for God, and he backslid.
Somewhere around 2015.
Yeah.
So I had hits and setbacks in my academic life.
Right.
So the first hit, second hit, by the third hit, that's where I caved in. So it was like a reaction of disappointment with God.
Because you're not doing well in school.
Yes, like why is this happening to me, kind of a thing.
You, the lover boy, the one who loves you.
Yes. You got it exactly. Because I truly gave myself
to God,
to ridiculously. I'm talking ridiculous seekings, and there were results for it. Yeah. There was so many miracles, so many healings, impartations, thousands, touched by the power of God. After all of that, it was like a self-righteous response. Like, am I just random to you? Am I just
another boy?
Yes. Yeah. Like, why didn't you come through for me? That kind of. And then I went cold.
Like entitlement.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You are entitled. Yes. God, the way I've been praying,
yes.
And winning souls for you.
Yes.
And then I'm failing in the small exams.
Yes. I caved in for many months. I didn't touch my Bible. maybe 6, 7, 8 months.
You are upset with God
So I was angry. I didn't even want to talk to God. I didn't want to.
to touch
I was that angry.
Were your parents noticing?
Yes.
So you backslid.
Yes, that's basically what happened.
Yeah.
And the only reason I didn't go all the way to maybe smoking, drinking, all of that was because of my parents. I was just considering, because that's the point where I'm curious. I'm like, okay, so let me experience. Yeah, let me
experience this life.
No more guards, no more.
Yes.
But of course, just the concern for their name, their integrity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't go all the way, but there was no fear in my heart. I was not afraid of God anymore. I remember a prophetic friend reaching out and saying, I see you in the spirit, like Samson, you've lost your 7 locks. She thought I'd probably be afraid.
Yeah.
I sent her a message. I said, I'm glad to know that you're hearing from God, so help me tell him that he should not threaten me.
Because me and him are not.
Yes, I'm not in the mood. So tell him, since he's hearing you and you are hearing him, help me let him know that whatever he wants to do, he should do. He should not stress me. That's how angry I was.
God should not stress me.
Yes, he should not please. He should not, I'm not in the mood. He should be apologizing to me right now, not threatening me.
And there he was, stagnant, still with many prophecies over his head. But mercy came.
I was in a church.
Yeah.
You know Dr. Poinenche?
Yes.
Yeah, so I was in his church.
Yeah.
I was in the overflow, standing upstairs, and I was there with a babe.
Yeah.
I was upstairs, standing in the church, and
you now even have a babe.
It was well, not official,
yes,
but someone that was trying to see maybe something could happen, and then so let's go to church. So we went there and we're standing upstairs.
Yeah.
And they were singing a song that he just received the night before, which is some of the lyrics was I long for your lovely face, Lord, I'm yearning to walk in your ways, Lord, I ask that you hold my hand, Lord, I'm yearning to be close to you. Please don't leave me alone, dear Lord, deliver me from loneliness. I am helpless without you, Lord, directionless without you, Lord. So the word spoke to me, because in my core, it has always been love. That day, it's like something woke up again, like a lion woke up. I began to shed tears standing up there.
When you're up there in the balcony.
I'm telling you, I shook my head and said, Kai, the lion is awake.
Lawrence Oyor came out of that experience with a deep revelation of God's love. And for the first time, the prophecy that was made by God's servant, Reverend Francis Wale-Oke, was to come alive. The heavens opened, and Lawrence began to receive strange songs from heaven. And that way, Davidic Minstrels was born. Lawrence and his brother Godswill began releasing songs. Most of these songs were really, really simple, but incredibly powerful.
Jesus, I want to be the reason for your smiling and rejoicing and dancing. I want to be the reason for the noise and rejoicing of angels in the heavenlies. Let me give you the souls of many hundreds, many thousands, many millions. Oh Jesus, I dare to ask for billions of lives saved, filled with the Holy Ghost. I want to present a bountiful harvest, Jesus. Oh Jesus.
Now I think I should stop and say that one thing very special about the man Lawrence Oyor is that his life is littered all through with encounters with special servants of God. We'll encounter another one in 2015. Lawrence was at the airport about to board a plane to another city for his NYSC, and there he was, Reverend Mosi Maduba.
When I saw him in the airport, I lost my steez. Someone said I lost my steez. And so I quickly ran to him to sow a seed. He saw my face, said, "What's your name?" I said, "Lawrence Oyor." He said, what are you doing? I said, oh, yo, is that not daddy? I said, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. He said, what are you doing? I said, me papa. He said, I want to sow a seed. And he said, I should be the one giving you. And so I began to provoke his depths with my utterance. I said, sir, it was not Abraham that collected from Melchizedek. It was Melchizedek that collected from Abraham. So he understood that I was intentional with what I was doing. Then he made a decree. Blessed be the God of Dr. G.F. Oyor, who has taught his children to put a sacrifice upon every altar they encounter. I went on my knees because I knew that, Baba wants to shift me. His utterances are sounding like incantation. He said, and I decree that the Lord will give you your sure place in this nation and your sure place on the earth.
That meeting opened up another layer of influence for Lawrence Oyor.
The next week after the decree, people started reaching me. It was 2015. People started reaching me and saying, I had your song, I had your song, I had your songs, I had your songs. I've been praying before this time.
The very next year, he went on a 90-day fast, praying for 12 hours every day. And on the 90th day, the heavens broke again, and he received yet another sound from heaven. This sound will be what we announce him to the world 7 years later. For the rest of that decade, Lawrence will be used mightily by God from campus to campus, from city to city, setting people ablaze for God. The Lord also blessed him with several songs from heaven, and his ministry kept expanding in leaps and bounds. As his fire was burning, her own was burning also.
I asked for dark, and I found you.
They had met just once, but little did they know that God was preparing them for each other. Darasimi was the daughter of Evangelist Mike and Gloria Bamiloye of the Mount Zion Movie Ministries. Her first meeting with Lawrence Oyor was unplanned.
So my mom came to visit the lady in their house. So I just said, let me just follow. Let me just go. Let me just go along with my mom. And in fact, there was no light now, so I didn't really see his face well. So I just met him, and he saw me. And then so we just said hello. So that was just the first meeting.
Online, she was not really visible.
I was not prominent at all.
Yeah, so people didn't. I didn't really pay attention to the fact that they had a daughter. Until one day, I'm on Instagram, and as I'm scrolling, I see her picture, and I'm like, hey, the baby's fine now. That's my exact word, like, she's fine now.
This baby's fine.
As I stood ministering, I remember her walking into the meeting.
Yeah.
And as I saw her,
every blood began to
now
flow.
My wife be this. This is my wife. This is my wife. She had no idea.
No clue.
By the time I already had my conviction, it was clear. This is my wife.
This is she?
In fact, I told my mom, we had a video call, and I told my mom, I said, I found my wife. So my mom asked me, is she aware she's your wife? I said, not yet, but just wanted to know that. I'm telling you, I found my wife. I said, where's her picture? I said, this is my wife. So a couple of weeks after, I mentioned it to her, but she couldn't tell me, she couldn't give me an answer because as an ESCO, they make like a vow or something.
As an executive in NCCF, you're not allowed to change your status. Enter into a relationship as an executive until you're done with your tenure.
Service.
So you're not allowed to.
And she had 4 months to go. So by the point of giving me an answer, it was very interesting. I was ministering in a meeting in Akwa Ibom alongside Apostle Selman. And it was the last night she was going to give me that answer. And she had told me 3 days before, whatever answer I give you, that I want you to finish your meeting before I give you the answer. So I was like,
hey, what is this?
What kind of answer does she want to give me that requires me finishing my meeting? Does she want to break my heart? And I know what breakfast tastes like. It's not good. I've experienced it before. I was thinking the anointing was on me. My chest, my head was hot. I've experienced it before. I said, no, don't tell me this girl wants to tell me.
No.
Why is she preparing my heart? So she called me next day again. I said, give me a hint. Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah.
She said, please finish your meeting. Focus on your meeting. Bless the people. I want you to focus. I don't want your heart in the wrong place.
You said,
at that point, I was a bit offended. So don't tell me you kept talking to me for 4 months. I didn't just, why are you wasting my time? She said, relax. I just want you to be in the right frame of mind to receive my answer.
Right.
And on that day, I finished. Come back to the hotel. I said, talk to me.
Yeah.
I was preparing my heart for everything.
As you are finishing, you are like, she better have my,
Talk to me, what's the answer? Is it a yes or a no? She said, Lawrence, I want you to know that I don't think it is God's will for me not to marry.
Their wedding was going to be a really beautiful one, but just 2 months before the wedding, something happened. Lawrence and his family took a blow they never expected.
For the first time, I realized, wow, he can even die, because he was such a man that you didn't think he could die. I heard from Archbishop Idausa's children that their father was like that too. That's how Daddy was. It was difficult to process it for many months. We kept seeing him in dreams consistently. I would wake up and realize, oh, okay, it's a dream. It was too strong in our souls that we didn't believe
he could go.
He could go, yes. That when somebody doesn't want to live in denial, and accept that this is happening, but I was just believing, if he hasn't finished, then
somehow
it shouldn't be God's will. Then we can pursue.
Yes,
and then we can. So I was saying, God, show me. Is it your will? I don't want to let it go just like that. But I was fine, totally mentally fine. I'm still very, very fine. And so once I saw, okay, it looks like this is it.
And then the prayers were doing something else.
Yeah, of course. Prayer is never wasted. That's why when I look back, I'm grateful we did that, because it broke us out. We started experiencing volumes that he never experienced.
Favor and volumes.
I am telling you, the visibility also, it was crazy. Like the things that began to happen after he passed, you would almost wonder. Eventually, we saw by prophetic intel that he consciously sold himself as a seed. Basically, like a contract. Like, as I'm going, let this happen.
The wedding of Lawrence and Darasimi was bigger and more beautiful than anyone expected. "2020 was the most remarkable year of Lawrence Oyor's life. For one, 2020 was the year Lawrence Oyor got delivered. From what, you may ask?